So it looks like Kusakabe got talent that could potentially rival Gojo. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that makes this fight all the more promising. What up, y'all? Back again, man. We got that Jujutsu Kaisen 246 review. But before we get into it, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button, and I'm gonna need y'all to hit that subscribe button. And yo, let's get on with it, man. So Kusakabe used a simple domain, save Higuruma. Yeah, basically from Sukuna slashes, right? And simple domain is just like a dumbed down version of using domain amplification. I mean, you still get hurt, but I mean, the cuts don't really go as deep. And the way this is set up, right, Kusakabe is ready to put his life on the line for Higuruma. And the thing is that from the meetings that they've been having before, it turns out that the main focus of their plan to take out Sukuna really revolves around Higuruma. And I think Higuruma knows that he's strong, but I feel like he's very much self-aware. There's a lot of self-doubt. It kind of reminds me of what was actually said to him, do you have a death wish? I feel like that was him almost doubting himself. I feel like if he didn't have as much doubt, he'd probably be a lot more better in battle. Not that he's not great already, but I feel like his lack of battle experience and his awareness of it almost kind of holds him back to some extent. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about. So Sukuna's pretty much just analyzing these guys to the point where he knows that these guys have been training. Like, he don't know what kind of spinach they've been taking and whatnot, but he knows for a fact that, yo, these guys been doing a little something. I guess this is almost his way of taking them a little more seriously in this sense, because I mean, if he wasn't, then I mean, he wouldn't really care. He kind of just go for everybody. So Kusakabe's pretty much just analyzing Sukuna's techniques. I feel like this has probably been the most analysis or the most we've been given in regards to the types of slashes that Sukuna can use. So he has Cleave and Dismantle, one which is actually almost like a flying slash. And then on top of that, there's actually a slash that can divide the world. It was a technique that he used to kill Gojo, but whatever. I feel like this has been like the most in-depth we've gotten in regards to just an explanation from his technique. I mean, we've never actually gotten an explanation of his technique from him. So, I mean, there's that. So the slash that basically flies and whatnot, that can travel some distance, is Dismantle. The slash that can actually divide the world is Cleave. Kusakabe is even wondering why Sukuna isn't even using his fire abilities, because he was there when he fought with Jogo. Because I remember Sukuna did this evil ass game where he was almost doing like a red light, green light situation where I remember it was in the anime, right? Sukuna pulls up, Panda's there, I think Mira was there. There was like 4 people. Kusakabe and Panda were both there. And I remember Sukuna was like, if you move, y'all gonna die. And then like these guys were just sweating. And this was in the middle of when Jugo was just using his technique. At this point in time, he was going absolutely berserk. So of course he saw the fire abilities, but he doesn't actually realize that one, Sukuna doesn't even have fire abilities. He used that black box at the time. I feel sorry for Higuruma low-key, because it's almost like he's trying to compensate for his lack of battle experience, but to be honest, the plan is focused around him. And if they didn't have death penalty, then honestly, I don't really see any way in which these guys are winning. He does apologize for the fact that the confiscation doesn't actually go towards his technique, but actually towards his cursed tool. And I mean, I guess you can't get everything that you want. And I mean, game is game, right? The craziest thing, right, is that Choso tries to sneak this guy with his blood manipulation, and he pays for it the hard way. Sukuna's chilling. And I mean, as you can see, like, you know, the blood technique is actually getting closer and closer, and then Sukuna's gone and he impales Choso, and Choso is done. Like, yo, this dude didn't even put one arm through this man, he put 2, and he was slipped. Like, dude's just on the floor out cold. Ino jumps in using Nanami's blade. Sukuna just casually blocks it. Ino gets kicked away, and basically that's like the end of him in this chapter. I mean, he's not dead or nothing. I mean, Choso's injured, I would assume, but I don't think he's dead. Higuruma tries to get a hit on Sukuna with the Executioner's blade. Sukuna knows for a fact if he gets touched with that blade in a non-weird way, you know what I'm talking about, then you know that's like a one-hit KO. So I think he knows for a fact that, you know, he's not above that at all. Sukuna and Yuji basically have a foot race, and I mean, Yuji is fast. Like, this guy speed blitzes most people. Sukuna is just ridiculous to the point where he even catches Yuji off guard. Now, I mean, we know that Yuji has physical enhancements to the point where his physical abilities are above what normal people can expect, like way above it. I remember when him and the bar were fighting those two cursed spirits, and he just told the bar like, yo, watch my back, we about to go real fast. And it was like he just broke the sound barrier at the moment he started running. Like, I was like, hey, yo, this man is not playing. Of course, they did a lot of planning before they decided to go against Sukuna. It turns out that when death penalty is actually assigned to the offender or the person who's charged with it, it's only exclusive to that person. Megami's soul is in Sukuna's body. Yes, it's Megami's body, but his soul's there, but Sukuna's currently taking it over. So if Sukuna gets hit with the executioner sword, because he's the one who got the death penalty, they can safely get Megami's soul without harm. I think it's crazy at the fact that Higuruma doesn't even know reverse curse technique. This whole plan actually revolves around Higuruma. I feel like it's Higuruma. Sometimes I get confused, but I mean, whatever. Higuruma's ability to be able to adapt, or his growth rate, is exponential to the point where it's actually been stated to be on par with Gojo's. Because I mean, Gojo's growth rate is ridiculous. I mean, the guy's a genius, but then Higuruma's also a genius too. And I feel like in this fight, his abilities, or his ability to be able to grow and adapt to different situations, is going to increase in its entirety. Like, I mean, he has domain expansion, so we can assume he knows simple domain, but like, I mean, he didn't use it. Sukuna kicks Higuruma back, and he's in the building, and this man is all beat up and whatnot. But I'm assuming when he did that, he had already thrown a slash at Higuruma. It turns out that Higuruma had actually used domain amplification, which actually neutralized Sukuna's technique. So I'm kind of sitting and I'm like, hey, like, you know what? This is kind of nice, because right now it seems like his ability to be able to grow and adapt in different fighting situations, now we're about to see this man have a whole growth spurt. And the thing is, now his potential has been shown to be on par with Gojo, to the point where he could be the next Gojo if he keeps growing at the rate in which they're claiming. He didn't know any domain amplification. I would assume, I mean, if he knew simple domain, I feel like he would have used it already, but the thing is that he never used it. Higuruma's sword has basically gone out, right? And it states that, you know, in less than 2 months after becoming a sorcerer and whatnot, he had an exponential growth rate. And I feel like Sukuna's observing him to the point where he's like got like an obsessive fascination. Well, not obsessive, but he's fascinated. He's definitely interested. Sort of like the same interest that he had when he saw Megami and he realized what technique he had. He's probably gonna learn reverse curse technique. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he learned how to do it in this fight. But one thing about Higuruma that makes him an interesting character, right, is that he says, I'm a human that dished the law, and vice versa. I want to be the person to punish myself in the end. And I'm kind of curious what that actually means. It almost feels like he did something taboo, and it's like something that he can't kind of let go of. I feel like he did something in the past that he can't really forgive himself for, and now he's almost spending like his lifetime trying to make up for it. I like the fighting right now. Honestly, it might seem like a 5v1, but it's a 1-on-5. Sukuna is jump resistant. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen is always about people getting jumped. I feel like at the end of it, it'll end up being Yuji versus Sukuna. That 1-on-1 is going to be nice. Honestly, this is a crazy chapter though, man. And the way Choso just got taken out, like he was done. Ino is done. Like, I mean, he's not dead, but he just got kicked away. Basically, he got removed from play. I'm definitely interested to see what Megami's actually going to be like once he's actually back. But I definitely feel like he's definitely not coming back the same. Like, he's definitely coming back maybe as a vegetable or something. Like, his body will be there, but his mind will never be the same, especially after being hit with Gojo's infinite void. I remember when in the Shibuya incident, the civilians got hit with unlimited void for like 0.2 seconds, and it took them like 2 months of rehabilitation for them to basically operate at regular capacity again. So I'm definitely interested to see where this story actually goes. But that's enough for me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.